Here we go. Let's see how this is gonna go. Thank you for coming, sir. Her Grace is most eager to speak with you. If you require a moment to compose yourself before your audience, you may have it. Or if you are ready, it would be my honor to escort you to Her Grace's chambers forthwith. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. Yes, we remember this. We have the time tonight. We have the time. We've been waiting. I've been waiting for this for the last week or two. Here we go. I need another drink. Here we go. Enter. Your Grace, your guest has arrived. Pray come in and take your ease. Tis well that the steps of fate held against the horde. And what of the city proper? We sustained some few losses, but the heart of our nation yet beats with vigor. I am not certain I could say the same had we not received your most generous aid. An attack on Ishgard is an attack on the realm. We stand together or fall divided. Such noble words after the fact. I'd hoped to speak in the presence of Her Grace, but it seems she has been delayed. That being the case, now would seem as good as a time as any. Honored friends, pray allow me to convey Ishgard's warmest gratitude for your part in the defense of our lands. Tis upon the success of this very alliance that my recommendation to throw open the gates of judgment shall be founded. With the blessing of the Archbishop, it is my hope that Ishgard will soon be reunited with her long estranged sister nations, and that Eorzea shall once more be as one. Very well. Is aught amiss? Nothing to worry about. I shall return anon. Hi. You wished a word, EnioHabev? You may go. Your Grace. You must be curious as to the reason for this private audience. The matter I would discuss, however, will soon make apparent the need for discretion. I intend to abdicate the throne and dissolve the monarchy. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Even the main character is confused or curious. You have seen for yourself the storm of turmoil that howls through our streets. The government fails in its responsibilities, and my subjects suffer the consequences of our incompetence. But I will see them suffer no longer. The victory feast shall provide the stage on which I declare the dissolution of the Sultanate. It is mine intent that the ruling class of our golden city should take its place beside the common man in a fair and equitable republic. No more shall this nation bow to the whims of a privileged few. Yet that which I propose will entail the tearing up of this city's very foundations. And even Roban, with all his strength and influence, will be hard-pressed to keep his footing on such treacherous ground. Thus would I ask you to lend him a steadying hand. You who have endured the wrath of innumerable foes are the one hero in whom I can place my trust. Will you do this thing for me? Absolutely. I am truly grateful. More grateful than I can well express. It's like the Namo just won the lottery or something when she smiled like that. How much we both have changed since that day we met beneath the Sultan tree. And the days ahead promise to change us further still. I hope that we will recognize ourselves when all of this is over. Something's up. Poison? Poison? Something's up. Something happened. Your Grace. I bet you had something to do with it. Is he still alive? Oh, Her Grace, the Sultana is dead. poison in her wine. Wait, that's what I thought. But I bet there's something more to this we don't know. You did this. Ah, classic false flag trick. Whatever you want to call it. Spare us your denials. I see no other suspects, and the room has but the one entrance. I hereby accuse you of regicide. Men, arrest this viper! I'd like to see you try. I'd like to see you try. There we go. Something was up. Sir, barring a few exceptions, we have detained all those with allegiance to the Scions. The Rising Stones is also under our control. Yep, I had a feeling something was gonna happen. Is this a coup d'etat? And what do you hope to achieve with this mutiny? Why? That which we have striven for all along, Commander. The salvation of Eorzea. Here we go. Let's find out what happens next. What is the meaning of this? Knights from the homeland. This cannot bode well. Lord Commander, we have received an urgent message from the Holy See. I am grieved to report that your serpentine foes have resumed their assault. Needless to say, your presence is urgently required. These knights have come to bear you swiftly home to Ishgard. A surprise attack? We've had no such word from our men, and the timing was most fortuitous to catch us away from the city. Most fortuitous indeed. Lord Commander, we must away. I wonder if they're going to figure out that there's something suspicious with this. You have been a most gracious host. I hope that I might one day return the favor. Is that foreshadowing? Come, Lucia. Oh, Thancred. Never change. Whatever is going on in there. Ah, the ever-dutiful brass blades. Must apologize, my dance card is rather full. Another time, perhaps. Thank Coerthas, the signs of the Seventh Dawn, you stand accused of committing acts of espionage in service to the Garlean Empire. Espionage? What in the seven hells are you talking about? Ah, if you're referring to that business with the ultimate weapon, then you must understand I wasn't myself. Under interrogation, an Imperial prisoner revealed your involvement in numerous dealings with the enemy. We've also been investigating reports that you're a practitioner of forbidden arts. You'd best come along with us. You invite me to your party and now you want me to leave? I do so detest receiving mixed signals. Come then. I believe I've lost my appetite for this farce of a celebration. Get him! You go too far, Lord Aligi. By what right do you march armed soldiers into a royal banquet and eject state visitors without her grace's consent? You treat the brass blades as your personal army and show contempt for the throne with your every act. Leave us. Now. Is that an order, General? Mayhap you have mistaken me for one of your flames. You will find I am not so slavishly obedient, and you lecture me on personal armies. As for your outrageous claim that I have shown contempt for the throne, let all here observe that I was not I who feasted while an assassin removed its occupant. I expect this is your idea of defending the nation, is it? This and diluting our forces through these distractions in Cartinil and Coerthas. I do begin to see how the ranks of the Immortal Flames came to be riddled with Garlean sympathizers. You are plainly unfit for command. Wait, goddamn you, your words make no sense. What assassin? You mean to say you don't know? We caught the vanted champion of the signs in her grace's private chambers not moments after the deed was done. Convenient. No, this cannot be. Save your breath. You will need it to plead your case. You and your entire order are to be tried for this atrocity. So this is his grand plan. Bring in the prisoner. Let me guess, he's a traitor as well? He's a traitor as well? This man stands accused of poisoning Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Onamo, and as suspected accessories to the crime, all members of the Science of Seventh will be detained for questioning. Was he part of this too? This is madness. What a pity. Who'd have thought your tale would end like this? Were you part of this whole grand scheme, Mealbird? Should you demand further proof, a vial with traces of the substance used to poison her grace was found upon the assassin's person. And kind of convenient how he somehow heard the commotion and came immediately. Very convenient, isn't it? How very convenient. Our thoughts exactly. You would speak of convenience? Who persuaded her grace to host this celebration? A diversion which presented you and your confederates ample opportunity to commit the crime, and a crowd within which to fade from view. A more convenient occasion I could scarcely imagine. How dare you, after all we have done for Ulda? Hold your tongue, witch! I'll not be ensorcelled. I know all about the dark gift that you and your disciples wield. Speaking of which, how's Tancred doing? Oh, yes. I've observed how you worked upon the minds of the Alliance leaders, bending them to your will. And what of your cordial relationship with Sir Imric? For years, Ishgard abjured all contact with the outside world. And now the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights treats you with the familiarity of a childhood friend. I'll tell you what I think. I think this desperate defense of Ishgard was but a ruse to deceive us into dividing our forces. Your next move will be to charm your Coerthan allies into invading our lands. Now that is truly ridiculous. How do you even think of this stuff? She cannot be dead. Stand aside, Ilberd. I want to see the Sultana. Spare yourself the pain, brother. I saw her with my own eyes. For her mercy, the poison took her swiftly. Her handmaiden can attest to that. Did you have something to do with it? This cannot be. No! No! Yeah, he has. I wonder who started this. Plainly, the royalists can no longer be relied upon to keep our nation safe. And so it falls on the monitors of the Syndicate to govern Ulda. But should you wish to help us, General, we are more than happy to entrust the task of planning Her Grace's funeral to you. Well, I think he's provoking Roban, isn't he? It seems only right that you should bury your precious Sultana, and we would be glad to be rid of that burden. Ooh, boy. Yep. I'll bet you will. You more than any man. Whatever do you mean? Ooh, I mean you had her killed, you black-hearted bastard! Oh, now Roban is angry. For good reason. What rot? Though I did have a sufficient motive, 'tis true. That young lady caused me no end of grief. She always was a most unwilling puppet. I dare say Her Grace was very grateful that someone thought to cut her strings. You would mock her, then mock her from hell! Oh. Ooh. Have you lost your mind, General? It is forbidden to draw steel in royal chambers, much less slaughter our fellow syndicate members. Well, I think we can all agree he asked for it. You don't provoke someone. And he paid for it. You're one of them. You've been in league with the Science all along. You are next, you scheming bastard. Who intervened? Roban! Seven hells. Who intervened? We'll find out. Eelbeard, of course. Adderall, we must leave. How unlike you, old friend. I did not expect to take your arm so easily. Take the Science into custody. They have conspired to commit regicide. It's like the Galactic Republic going to Galactic Empire all over again, isn't it? And arrest this traitor as well. How is Tancred doing? That's what I'm thinking right now. Eelbeard, I hope you choke on their coin. It's better than the dirt I've supped on these long years. We can't all abandon Alamigo and become great warrior heroes as you have. You are not the man you once were, Roban. Since that girl strapped a yoke around your neck, you become docile. She took the mad bull and cut off his balls. And a bull that cannot rot is fit for naught but slaughter. Okay, where's Tancred? Shall I tell you who really killed your precious Sultana? It was me. Oh, and I bet Tancred is not gonna be happy if he finds out. Where's Tancred? Nice save. I never doubted you, not for a moment. But there is more to this than I yet understand. Flee this place. Clear your names. Find out who is behind this plot. It is the only way. Now go! Where's Tancred? How's he doing? Ah, there you are. Tancred, where have you been? Avoiding the fumbling advances of some very persistent admirers. When I realized that celebrations had turned sour, it seemed prudent to slip away and take stock of the situation. It would appear that much of the city is already under tight guard. It occurs to me that expanding the Brass Blade's authority may not yet have been such a wonderful idea after all. The success of this plan was contingent upon those thugs having the run of the place. Just how long has this scheme been in motion? A very good question. The careful preparations, the maneuvering of forces. I'm inclined to agree with the General's insistence that a deeper plot exists here. I wonder who's behind all this, too. So, would I be right in thinking now we have an excuse to pommel as many brass blades as we like? Unless you plan on pummeling them all, I'm not sure that will greatly aid our cause. The Sultana's assassination was one part of this scheme. We too were its targets. And though we did not share poor Nanamo's fate, we are yet hobbled by the charges laid at our door. Where now might we seek refuge? Where indeed? We may safely assume that our foe has thought of the Rising Stones watched. Forgive me for stating the obvious, but our choice of destinations will matter little if we cannot secure an escape route out of Volta. Happily, I believe I can provide one. Papa Shan once told me about the passages hidden in the walls of the palace. If I recall correctly, the fireplace in Nanamo's chambers conceals the entrance to a tunnel. It should lead outside the city and allow us to avoid any messy confrontations. Let's go. The rest of you on go ahead. I'll handle this slot. By yourself? Never seen her being that serious. I suppose I'll just have to join you. Crystal Braves too, huh? Now this should be interesting. Ida, Papalumo. We will hold our pursuers here. Hurry now, find this tunnel of Tancred's. Infelia, we cannot linger. Ow! Oh, look what you've done. Ida, you alright? There are just too many of them. I'm fine. I could do this all day. How about you? Nearing the end of my tether. This is so stupid. Where are the signs of the seventh dawn? The ones who stand between this realm and the evil that's trying to destroy it. And if you think we'll leave the stewardship of Erza to the likes of your masters, then you're sorely mistaken. Sorry I dragged you into this, Papalamo. Huh, it's hardly the first time, and I'll be damned if it will be the last. Let them have it, Ida! I was hoping you'd say that. Wow. Did they just die? I never knew such a watercourse existed beneath Ulda. The architecture is of the Sylvan style, if I am not mistaken. The ancients plainly foresaw the need for a ready means of escape. This way! Well, that didn't take long. It seems these tunnels were not as secret as I had hoped. You two go on ahead. Thancred and I will deal with this. What do you mean to do? Only that which is required to ensure that the dawn's light survive to brighten the morrow. Fear not, antecedent. You haven't seen the last of these fair features. My friends. Leave us! I wish we could help them. What is the plan, my lady? Shall I take a dozen on the left and you the dozen on the right? The odds are not exactly stacked in our favor. Numbers will count for little when I bring the tunnel down upon their heads. Though I cannot say I relish the thought of being intoned with you for all eternity. Will you wound me? I will have you know that many a maid would kill for the chance to spend forever at my side. Now, may I have the last dance? Ooh. Well, this is going splendidly. That will be a good time, my lady. It's done. Forgive me, Mithra. Farewell, Infilia. He died too? Highland, she speaks to me. No. I must remain behind, but you cannot stay with me. Please, you must go on. You are the warrior of light. You are hope for the Scions and for all the realm. As long as your flame continues to burn, the light of the dawn may ever be relit. You must escape and save Eorzea from those who would plunge it into the darkness. It's the only way. Jeez. Oh, I remember this place. Yeah. You survived? He survived. I'm glad to see you safe, my friend. What are the others? Damn that man. Telegy played me for a fool. I thought the crystal braves mine till the very moment I felt the blade at my back. There will be ample time for soul-searching later. For now, we must put some moms between us and Ulda. I wonder who that is. He saved us. Well, would you look who it is? Either ride? I doubt it'll be half as exciting as the last trip we took. Not if I have anything to say about it. Anyway. Oh, Brendt, you came to save us at the right time. How fitting. That's not dawdle, eh? All aboard! A great escape. Deja vu all over again. And the only place we have to go is Coerthas. I was stocking up on supplies over in Vesper Bay, you see, when your sister come up and begged a favor. Said her brother was having some trouble down in Olda, and likely needed a helping hand getting away. Thinking the ruins would make a fine hiding place, I decided to try there first, and lo and behold, there you were. And judging by them soldiers as we were pouring out of the city, I arrived not a moment too soon. Must have been fate that we happened to find you there, though, eh? I had thought to look out for Alice, but it would appear she was the one watching over me. It made such a mess of things. And who might you be, young sir? Ipin Taropin, Vice Marshal of the Immortal Flames. I had been on the Alamigan front these past few moons, but an urgent communication called me back to Olda. Scars had my boots touch the cobbles, though. When the streets erupted with cries of assassination, I immediately went in search for answers, and came across Master Alpin out here. Needless to say, I did not think his imprisonment justified. The blame plainly lies with the monetarists. Their greed and corruption are well known to me, but for them to take advantage of the situation with such alacrity. It was that Pippin, you said. Ain't that the name of General Aldine's lad? Yes, I am his son. Adopted, of course. It was only as we were leaving Olda that I learned of father's fate. Once I have seen you a safe distance away, I need to return to the city and extricate him from this madness. Then you need travel no further back than the Black Brush. Our fugitives have a friend waiting for them there. I dreamed of bringing about heirs of salvation, but in the end, it was I who needed saving. So it looks like we're approaching the shroud. Are we? No. The soldiers keep searching for a while yet. Reckon we'll take the carriage back towards Olda and get the lay of the land. Maybe provide a distraction if need be. You three wait here. Help will be along shortly. Stay strong, friends. The real fight's to come. How did I get my gear back? All right, let's go. How did we get our gear back? It's fine. Well, that was an interesting development. How could I have been so blind? Yeah, Finale is not looking happy. Yeah. The most unassuming folk can prove to be our greatest allies. That fellow was but a passing merchant, yet he lent us aid without a moment's hesitation, or any hint of concern for his own safety. Though I can well imagine how a man could feel inspired to risk all in your presence. Father spoke often of you, Enio, and long I have been looked forward to our first meeting. Needless to say, this is not at all how I envisioned it. Mr. Alfinaud, you must not give in to despair. That would only play into our enemy's hands. So long as you and Enio are free, we may still set things right. Forgive me, Marshal Turpin, but Alfinaud! My boy, sorry to keep you waiting. Oh, you're fine. Sid, you're okay. Sid, what are you doing here? Pulling you out of the fire as usual. Your merchant friend told me everything. Truly. Then he is no merchant but an angel in peddler's clothing. But tell us, how do you intend to bear our friends to safety? I hid the Enterprise but a short distance away. All I need is a destination. We must find a place beyond the reach of both the Monetarists and the Crystal Braves. Coerthas! Ishgard will not suffer the intrusion of foreign forces in their territory. That settles it! With me, everyone! Not I fear. I must remain here. I dare not abandon Olda to the Monetarists and their cronies. You may be certain that they will seek to defame you, both here and in other city-states. But know that I shall do my utmost to thwart their every effort. Frankly, I do not expect it to be much of a challenge. The small folk will not turn so easily on the Warrior of Light and his allies, no matter what the Monetarist claims. Master Turfin, I know not what to say. Ha! Now that father would labor to believe. But enough talk. You must go, Master Alfinaud. Your airship awaits. Up, up! There's no rest for the righteous! Never seeing the rest of those characters again? Ugh. What a way to go. I don't know what to say here. We should make for Camp Dragonhead and speak with Lord Horsefant. Mayhap he will know what to do. Lord Horsefant has agreed to grant us a succor. He says that we will be safe here. Master Alfinaud told me your tale, Enio. It warms my heart that you should turn to me before all others, and I shall endeavor to deserve your trust. Alas, the situation here has grown more complicated in your absence. It would be best if I explained in full. In times of trouble, there are a few things more precious than unconditional support. Is this, we finally get to go to the new area? It looks like this picture here is telling us to do that. Okay, let's do it. There has been word from the capital. Ishgard has weathered another assault, and this said several wyverns broke through into the city proper. The Temple Knights succeeded in slaying the beast, but the intrusion prompted orders to further strengthen the guard and to place the city under a perpetual state of alert. How keenly we felt the loss of our warriors at the gates of judgment. Yet we must not bemoan our misfortune. Sir Imric is safely returned from Ulda, and once more leads the defense of Ishgard. As for the matter of your asylum, I am afraid no progress will be made until the threat to our nation has diminished. But do not despair. You are not without allies. You are more than welcome to shelter here for as long as you wish. I think of it as a new headquarters of sorts. The falling snows, or some such. All frivolity aside, any who come here in search of you will receive no aid from House Vortemps. For once, the Ishgardian reputation for inhospitality shall work in our favor. Agents of Ulda will find their every inquiry dismissed, and their every request for entry rebuffed, until such time as their masters have acknowledged your innocence. You once fought to preserve the honor of my dear friend. There's a blessing that I may now repay that debt in kind. But let us dwell no more on this. Pray join the rest of your companions. This bitterly cold this day, I suspect there are those who might welcome the warmth your presence brings. Taru, you made it. Alfinaud, Enio, is it really you? How did you survive the Taru? I'm so happy that you are... Me too, Tataru. Me too. I tried contacting Minfili and the others, but no one would respond. And then the Crystal Braves, our own people, turned on us in the marketplace. Flaming told me to run, and so I did. I ran until my lungs burned and my feet ached. But I lost my way, and then... Fortunately, I had observed some of the Braves behaving suspiciously beforehand. Oh, we get to see your face. Ah, yes, my mask. It was lost in the struggle. We meet at last. Pretty, isn't she? Absolutely, game. You want us to tell us she's pretty. Yes, she's pretty. Yes. Anyway, after Ugiri found me, we traveled to Vesper Bay and met up with Orianger. When we told him what had happened, he used his magics to weave a glamour around the waking sands. From the outside, our old headquarters now looks like an abandoned storehouse. The transformation didn't take long, either. Apparently, Orianger started making preparations after the Imperial attack, just in case the Empire ever chose to pay us another visit. Good thinking, eh? Wonder how they're doing. Sorry, where was I? Oh, yes. So we waited there at the Wicking Sands, hoping others would come, but no one else did. My people are searching for the other scions even as we speak, but we have met with no success as yet. I had hoped that you might be able to suggest further places to look. Ah, but you should know the Rising Stones did not share the Waking Sands' good fortune. Only Crystal Braves await you there. Be that as it may, we yet have cause to hope, do we not? If the two of you escaped, it is not impossible that the others could have done so as well. You may have been forsaken by men and women believed true, but rest assured that the people of Doma yet stand with you. We welcome this opportunity to repay our debts, and shall continue our efforts to locate the others and see the Scions restored to their rightful place of honor. Glad to have help. It's all my doing. I believe myself the only one who truly understood Eorzea's woes. And look what the arrogance has wrought. I gave commands, influenced governments with my certainty. I treated the Crystal Braves, and even the Scions themselves, as pawns in my great scheme to save the realm. But in my headlong rush into imagined glory, I paid no heed to the ground upon which I trod. Salvation of Eorzea. What was it that I hoped to achieve? Did I believe that I could rid of the realm of every danger and difficulty? That I could not defeat the Empire and the Ascians and find homes for every refugee? Oh yes, I was so very clever. Become a guardian of Eorzea, I implored, and sat back to watch my perfect army cleanse the land of chaos. It was all but a means to feed my own vanity. Only when all is lost do I finally realize the truth. Oh, Alfinaud. So, Master Alfinaud, are you content to remain a broken blade? Is there no flame hot enough to reforge you? What of the fine companions who yet stand at your side? I dare say the fires of their determination will soon have you slicing the air again with your customary wit. I hardly deserve such friendship. Besides, where are we to go? Alfinaud, if I may. Should this place not serve our purpose, then we shall go to Ishgard. Infalio told me many times, as long as we stand fast against despair, the beacon of hope will never be lost to sight. Be it in the snow or in the clouds, we few will see that the dawn's light shines again. Come on, give Alfinaud a hug. You're right, Tataro. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words, Lord Haurchefant. It's true that Eorzea yet has her guardians. The Scions have achieved much, and would be remiss of me to discard it all in a fit of self-pity. Let us then resume our journey together, one step at a time. Oh, it's the credits. I don't know if all those characters actually died, or maybe they'll reappear later, I don't know. Wasn't expecting that, really. I just felt sad. I didn't cry, I just felt very sad that they just had to sacrifice themselves. I don't know if they will see them again. Here we go. Cutscene time. All has been arranged as you desired, my lord. Yep. I had a feeling that there was something going on because nobody pointed a finger at her. So it was all planned. This whole grand plan. And I wonder what's gonna happen next. What? That's Roban. He's still alive. He's still alive. Ooh, he's not happy. Gabriel's is no more. The ardor was not his to invoke. His demise was of his own making. Nevertheless, it concerns me. They have extinguished that which should rightly be eternal. Mayhap he was not wholly mistaken. Greater haste may be warranted. We are of one mind. The northern lands, then. The earth is fertile, and the seeds well sown. By my will, they shall reap salvation unlike any the world has known. By his will. By his will. I have answered thy summons, emissary. Speak and make thine intent known. Interesting. Well, no, I was wondering where Orianger was. So this whole thing was planned from the very start. It wasn't just pure convenience. This whole thing was an inside job. I would speak of fate, Archon. Yours, mine. The fate of this very star. That character, Orianga, was an ally of ours, and something happened along the way. Here we go, the Foundation. This is the game that was teasing us that we can eventually get through. Thou thinkest sanctuary lit beyond. Delusion, despair, death. Thou shalt find naught else here. To preserve the dawn's light, the heroes journeyed north. Their hearts filled with hope and eyes fixed heavensward. The dawn's light will shine again. So long as we have these specious accusations hanging over us, we will struggle to achieve anything. You must go to Ishgard, as the Tauro proposed. I will return to Olda and set things right. Pray do not be so hasty, Master Alfinaud. Lord Haurchefant? Full well do I understand your desire to clear your names. But now is not the time for drastic action. You yet have allies upon whom you can rely. There is no need to act alone. Yes. Yes, of course. Pray forgive my impatience. I bring tidings. Count Edmund has decreed that the three of you to be taken in as wards of House for Temps. Under our patronage, you shall be granted access to the city proper. Pray consider our manor your new headquarters, from which you may gather information and plan how best to proceed. Needless to say, should any of your missing allies be found, as I am certain they shall, they will of course be welcome to join you there. You're more than generous, my friend. On behalf of my fellows, I humbly accept your offer of hospitality. The Count is a good man and just. He will treat you with the kindness and respect that a hero and dear friend deserves. To Ishgard, then, together. There we shall carry on the Scion's legacy. There we shall begin anew. Hear, hear! Oh, Tataru. They say the winds can be rather fierce on the steps of fate. Be sure to wrap up before we go. Not at all the circumstances under which I had hoped to visit Ishgard for the first time. But so be it. I must go on ahead and speak with the Count. Fear not, however, for everything has been arranged. The sentries at the gates of judgment have been informed of our decision. You need but state your names, and they will allow you to pass. My manservant shall be waiting for you at the city gates, ready to escort you to our manor, where we shall meet again. Until then! Alright, here we go, first time. Seiko, I'm not sure if you want to greet me at the entrance, but here we go. Words of House for Temps. Yes. You may pass. Here we go. And so they came, at a friend's behest. Heroes once celebrated as saviors of Eorzea, brought low through treachery, their names blackened with royal blood. With memories of the lost and dreams of redemption, we'd hope yet in their hearts, they came. To Ishgard, shining city on the mount, overlooking the dominion of Coerthas. A great and proud nation devoted to Halone, the Fury, ruled by Thordan VII, the bishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. The last bastion of the Fate, her walls ever bristling with sworn swords and spears of her 4 high houses. A land that after 1,000 years of war had forgotten what it was to be at peace. Through gates long closed, the warrior of light and his companions passed, entering at last a city whose history was written in blood. In the midst of the Dragonsong War they came, 3 weary travelers whose arrival would set in motion great change. Though none knew then how great. From the memoirs of Count Edmond de Fortemps, Heavensward. And here we are, Heavensward that we've been waiting for. Hi, Vaho. Oh, here we are, our very first time. Hello, Baho. So here we go, for the very first time. Thank you so much. After all this time, we finally made it. I'm gonna say something insane. Finally made it. This is our reward for getting through the A Realm Reborn. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to give you something, Uzuko. I'm still learning, but yeah, let's do this. I could not resist. I could not resist. And I just learned something too, Vaho. The walk key. So you can run like this, right? But I'm gonna be a man and walk. Look at this, Vaho. I'm walking right around you. I'm walking right around you. No, I want to walk around you. I want to walk around you. I want to walk around you. No, I want to walk around you. Yes, I'm walking around you. I'm walking around you. Okay, that's enough joking around. Let's see what House Fortemps manservant has to say. Greetings, Master Habib. On behalf of House Fortemps, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars. If you all would come with me, the Warrior of Light and his brave companions, walking the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight. Can I tell you how long I have waited for this day? Allow me to present you my family home, Fortemps Manor. I should like nothing more than to show you around, but everyone is gathered to receive you. Come, my friends, introductions must be made. To look upon the splendor of these heights, one would little suspect the ruin wrought by the wyverns below. Is it just me, or is the air up here different? I can almost smell the wealth and power. God, it's making me feel faint. My lord, I have returned with the Scions. I hope your journey was not too taxing. I, Count Edmond de Fortemps, do bid you welcome. As wards of House Fortemps, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home. My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Fortemps. The honor is mine, Master Alfinaud. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard. Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned to accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation? Do not worry yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgar's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders. Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies, don't you think? Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses. But so long as you continue with your altruistic endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns. Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work. Full glad am I to hear it. But before you turn to your labors, why not take a tour of the city? You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time. As if the game read our minds. So this is what the inside of the manor of a high house looks like. To think that Lord Horschiefant was raised here. So, what do you think? Be honest. It's great, isn't it? It's better than great. As I said before, my home is your home. After all you have done on our behalf, it is the least I can offer. Greetings, Scion, and welcome. We are honored by your presence. They'll be whispering about you soon, if they aren't already. The mysterious guests of House Fortemps, or some such. Greetings, Master Habev. How may I be of assistance? Though our friends in House Fortemps have been generous enough to extend us their protection, we must take care not to impose too much on their hospitality. It is only proper that we learn about our new home, so that we might become more self-sufficient. It'll take a while to learn the lay of the land, but learn it we must. Then there's the markets and taverns. We'll need to know where to shop and where to hear small talk. It would seem a tour of the city is indeed in order. I thank you for your counsel, my lord. My companions and I shall, of course, do as you suggest. Very good. Then my manservant shall accompany you. He will be able to answer any questions you might have. But I grow forgetful in my dotage. There's something I must give you before we part. Their documentation is in order, I trust. Yes, my lord. Those documents identify you as wards of House Fortemps. Given that our borders have remained closed for decades, many of my countrymen are unaccustomed to treating with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of House Fortemps. But let us hope it shall not come to that. Rest assured that we shall do our utmost to avoid any situation which might compel us to invoke your name. Enio, Totaru, the city awaits. Let's go. I'm glad I have a map. I confess, it had been long a dream of mine to visit Ishgard. To my fat childish self, her towers, bridges, and cobbled streets seemed akin to something from a fairy tale. I have never quite outgrown the fantasy. As this is your first time in our fair city, pray permit me to show you to the Haplon, from whence we may gaze upon the splendor of the Holy Vault. Though all other sights pale in comparison, there's only meat that you see at first. I shall then show you around the jeweled crozier, where you may purchase all manner of goods and services, before descending to Foundation's Arthurite Plaza. If there are no questions. The Haplon, so named for the bronze great shield borne by our nation's patron deity, is the largest plaza in Ishgard. The magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. That's the one we saw in the cutscene briefly, right? Begging your pardon, the statues to the south, are they perchance Thordan's famed Knights 12? Very good, Master Alfinaud. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Thordan the First to put down Nidhogg and found this great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there is much you can learn by exploring the pillars, time permitting, of course. Now then, if you would follow me to the jeweled crozier, I shall introduce you to Mistress Elise, our master of the markets. Not a single scorched stone in sight. To watch these merchants going about their business, I would think the dragons had never attacked. If you want to buy something, let me do the talking. I could haggle for Olda. I present to you Mistress Elise. Mayhap you would like to say a few words? Well, you're clearly not locals or traveling peddlers, which makes you all... Ah, wards of House for Temps. How very interesting. Count Edmund has granted us leave to remain in Ishgard for as long as we wish, which may be some time. Accordingly, we will have need of sundry goods, hence our desire to make your acquaintance, that is. Of course, assuming you are content to accept the custom of foreigners, should you be uncomfortable... Young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Weapons, armor, accoutrements, medicine, materials, whatever you desire. It can be found in the crozier. Our merchants will be more than happy to accommodate you, as you shall soon see. Our next destination is the Aetheryte Plaza and Foundation, if everyone is ready. The tarot is nice. Do you ever get a funny tingling feeling when you attune to the Aetheryte, or is it just me? No? So it is just me. Oh, I have already attuned myself to the Aetheryte. I trust you have as well. And here we have Foundation's Aetheryte Plaza. If you have yet to attune to the Aetheryte, it'll be wise to do so now. As for our next destination, perhaps we should decide together. What else can be found nearby? The Sky Steel manufactory stands to the west. There our engineers conceive and manufacture weapons for use against the dragons. The holy stables, where chocobos are trained for war, also lie in that direction. To the north and east can be found the congregation of our knights most heavenly, while to the south and east, well, it would be best if you avoided that area. And why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Afinaude. Hold your nose when ye pass the broom, little lord. Our delicate flower like you is like to wilt in our fumes. You misjudge me, sir, for I am no lord but a humble traveler. Oh, come to see the sights, have ye? Take a turn down the upland and gawp at the statues? Well, if you have a mind to learn how the better half live, come and have a drink at the Forgotten Knight, if your nursemaids let ye. My humblest apologies, Mr. Afinaude. Pray pay the drunken lout no mind. Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse such a heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see this Forgotten Knight for myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this, Enio. There are few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. Not that I expect to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet. Nevertheless, who can say that we might learn of recent events? Then I'm coming too! May I have one drink would be... No, I mustn't. Yes, I got a good feeling about this place. Once more, I must urge you to reconsider. There are several gentlemen who appear less than pleased by our presence. Oh, come on, don't be so worried. We're the adventurers. We've done a lot of dangerous things already. Must say, this is rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with her more notable establishments, Master Gibrillant. Just Gibrillant will do. And I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise it'll live up to your expectations. But if it's decent food and drink you're after, you could do much worse. Judging by the number of customers I see, I suspect your fare is rather more than decent. Speaking of your clientele, I could not help but note a difference between those who frequent the upper and lower floors. Spotted that, did you? Aye, up here you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights, and so forth, dropping in on their way to or from somewhere else. Regulars, maybe, but not locals. Folks from the broom, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suited to their tastes. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits, all quality, mind, but not the sort of stuff I'd recommend to yourselves. You speak of the lowest levels, yes? Why do they call them the broom, if I may ask? 'Cause when the weather is foul and the broom rolls in thick, it's the poor sods living at the bottom who have to deal with it. I see. And it's not just the weather. When the wyverns broke through the wards and started tearing up the city, it was the broom that got the worst of it, while the pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and the temple knights. More and few people are still sore about that, mind. Which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below, and something sharp in your boot. just to be sure. I shall take your words to heart, sir. Master Alphinaud, I think it would be best if you return to Fort Thames Manor. You go on ahead without me. I'm staying for a drink or two. Mr. Taro, I'm afraid that is out of the question. My lord, the Count would never forgive me if I am abandoned one of his charges in such a place, least of all a maiden. What are you up to, Tataru? Look around, Alphinaud. This tavern is full of people whose business regularly takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the newest gossip to come to me. Indeed. But will you be safe here on your own? Oh, please. Do you know how often I looked after the waking sands and the rising stones by myself? If I had a gill for every unwelcome caller I've ever driven away, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'll be fine. Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay an unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment. That settles it then. Tataru, Enio, and I shall return to the manor for now. Contact me by link pearl if you require assistance. I will. Oh, look at Tataru's expression. I love it. Tell us then, Master Alphinaud, does Ishgard meet with your expectations? That which I imagine pales in comparison to the reality. I felt the weight of 1,000 years of history with every step I took. And when those steps took me past the scars left by the wyverns and foundation, I understood how easily that history could end in tragedy. The attack was devastating, the casualties unspeakable. The wyverns did not discriminate. Unarmed men and women, even children were given no quarter. Sir Imric has ordered his knights to strengthen our defenses, and each house has been called upon to lend what support it can. There is much to be done. Yet, alas, able-bodied men and women are in short supply. Mayhap we could be of assistance, my lord. After all you have done for us, we would welcome any opportunity to repay your kindness. That is a most generous offer, Master Alphinaud. You are guests in my home, to whom I have extended my hospitality without obligation, let or lien. Nevertheless, Ishgard's need is great, and if you are willing to aid our cause, I cannot well refuse. Good. What would you ask of us? From what I have heard, you are an intelligent and persuasive young man. Such qualities may prove most useful to us in our efforts to secure provisions from foreign sources, identifying trustworthy suppliers, brokering contracts, and so on. As for you, Master Habev, I could ask for no one better than a storied veteran such as yourself. A man with the capacity to act swiftly and decisively when needed, to aid our Toyrel and Emanilian in their duties. I beg your pardon? I am more than capable of carrying out my duty by myself. I have no need of our honored guest's assistance. Now, be reasonable, brother. What manner of fool would say no when a famous hero offered to do his work? Hold your tongues. By the Fury, the two of you will conduct yourselves with dignity befitting your station and show Master Habev the respect he deserves. This is the man who slew Gaius von Balzar and some half-dozen primals besides. He is not here to steal your glory or serve as your errand boy. You can pardon their impropriety, Master Abiv. I should be much obliged if you would lend my sons a helping hand. My thanks. If you're willing, they may even learn something from you. The two brothers are very different. It would seem we shall not want for employment over the coming days. Though that was never in doubt. Our host's initial reluctance to accept our offer of aid was solely for appearance sake. In truth, he's glad of this opportunity to put us for work. By granting us patronage, House for Temps has taken off a tremendous risk. Until we demonstrate our worth to Ishgard at large, the Count will face considerable opposition from his peers in matters great and small. And so, he would have us publicly serve Ishgard, while simultaneously keeping his sons in check. There's an arrangement we may benefit from in unexpected ways. My own duties may feasibly bring me into contact with people who know something of our missing comrades. And as you go about helping our two lords with their various responsibilities, you will inevitably make new acquaintances in Ishgard. May have even new allies. Yes, the more I think on it, the more confident I am that by furthering their goals, we shall further our own. Shall we be off then, old boy? But where are my manners? Emmanuel de Fortemps, second son of Count Edmond de Fortemps, trueborn, that is. Yes, I know what you're thinking, and you're absolutely right. What ill fortune to be born second in a society where the eldest inherits all. Oh, my brother would never cut me off, it's true. But who could be satisfied in subsisting on a meager allowance, forever overshadowed by his sibling? Not I, old boy, not I. Which is why I need your help to ensure this business in the Sea of Clouds goes swimmingly, so that the tales of my great deeds can win me a place in the people's hearts, or better yet, raise me higher in their estimations than Arturel. Ambitions, I grant you, but then I do have a legendary here to do my bidding. Oh, don't look me at that way. I jest. Swear we heard that before. Anyway, we are to aid the good men and women of House Helinarte. They have ever been steadfast friends to our house, though they have fallen on hard times since the calamity. Poor blighters. As for what precisely we will be doing, well, what fun would it be if I told you everything in advance? Just come along with me to the airship landing. We'll need to take the airship to Camp Cloudtop. Let us begin anew, Master Abiv. I am Sir Arturel de Fortemps, eldest son of Count Edmond de Fortemps. You will forgive me my outburst, I hope. I meant no disrespect. I merely consider myself equal to the duties entrusted to me, unlike some. Haurchefant has spoken of you often. If you're even half the man he claims, I shall be glad to have you at my side. To the matter at hand, then, we will be assisting my esteemed compatriots of houses during their dismail. You are aware of our friendly rivalry, I take it? Aye, well, suffice it to say, the prospect of assisting said houses does not fill me with joy. However, it is the will of the Holy See that we set aside our differences at this crucial juncture. But we shall speak more of that anon. First, you must need secure transport to the Falcon's Nest. Let us make for the Chocobo stables in Foundation. Greetings, Master Abiv. I've saddled a black chocobo for your journey to the Western Highlands, as per Lord Arturel's instruction. Will this be your first time riding a black chocobo, may I ask? If so, you're in for a treat. As I dare say, you know, this particular breed can fly. Given the right conditions, they can carry you quite high too, even over Snowcloak. You don't need to worry about directing the bird, of course. Like all porters, she's trained to carry you to your destination all by herself. So just relax and enjoy the view. Oh, but be sure not to relax your grip, will you? 2 hands on the reins at all times, if you please. Here we go. Finally, we get to explore Western Highlands. To the frozen wastes of the Western Highlands, once verdant tracts made pallid by the calamity. Beyond the towering wall of ice, to lands long forsaken that the knights of Ishgard strove tirelessly to reclaim. To the hamlet of Falcon's Nest, once abandoned, now freed of its pile of snow and ash, he came. The world looks quite different when viewed from the back of an airborne chocobo, does it not? I still find the experience strangely liberating. To business! Sir Eyre Redwald is in charge here. He should be expecting us. It has been far too long, Lord Arturel. And who might your companion be? Pray forgive us our lateness, Sir Redwald. I present to you EnioHabev, Ward of House Fortemps. Ah, yes, of course. Lord Drillamont spoke of you. I, Sir Redwald of House Durandare, do bid you welcome in Falcon's Nest. We are both eager to contribute to the settlement's restoration. How we may be of service. Before we speak of that, would I be correct in assuming that Master Habib is unfamiliar with our recent history? Then, with your permission, I shall recount the tale for his benefit. As you may know, Falcon's Nest was once a hamlet with a small garrison of knights and some few villagers. And then came the calamity. When it became clear that the snow would not stop falling, we had no choice but to order a complete withdrawal. The settlement and the entirety of the Western Highlands were to be abandoned. Abandoned to the heretics. Lady Iceheart and her kind have walked these lands with impunity ever since. Aye, but no longer. The Holy See has commanded the reclamation of the Western Highlands and the expulsion of heretical elements. Falcon's Nest is a key to accomplishing these objectives. But as you can see, rebuilding the hamlet will be no small undertaking. Our craftsmen require support and protection. Any assistance you can offer will be greatly appreciated. As promised, we of House Fortemps are at your disposal, Sir Redwald. You need but tell us where to begin. Are you ready to depart, sir? The airship bound for Camp Cloudtop will be leaving shortly. Yes. Sea of clouds. Upon an airship conceived within the fecund mind of Sid Garland, renegade prodigy of Garlemald, who had come to call Eorzea home. high into the heavens, where isles of earth and stone floated as clouds, a frontier the knights of Isgard had scarce begun to explore. To a fledgling outpost within the Sea of Clouds, where careworn scouts ever scanned the skies for winged shadows, he came. Another interesting location. Awfully cold up here, I mean. Coerthas may not be blessed with the warmest weather in the world, but compared to this, it seems positively balmy. Oh, and of course, our hero is wholly unperturbed. You don't have to maintain that strong, silent persona all the time, you know? Port will break. Love it. Never mind. We need to find Lady Laniette. She's in charge of the garrison here. Oh, and when we find her, just follow my lead, yes? Excellent. Master Habib, welcome. I am Sir Laniette de Halinarte, commander of the forces stationed here at Camp Cloud Top. Strange though it may sound, I have long dreamed of meeting you. I am in your debt, you see, and shall ever remain so. Were it not for you, my younger brother Francel would have been executed upon the word of a false inquisitor. Alas, a knight must go where duty demands, and thus have I been unable to seek you out. But by the grace of Halone, I've been granted an opportunity to thank my brother's savior in person, and to call upon his generous aid besides. Truly, I know not what I have done to deserve this double blessing. Ahem. It's a pleasure to see you again, my Lady Laniette. You cut an elegant figure as always. A steel-clad rose, equally at home on a battlefield or in a ballroom. Lord Amunalian, if it's not too much to ask, I should be grateful if you'd allow me to finish speaking with Master Habib. Camp Cloudtop was established to provide early warning of impending Dravanian incursions. The high elevation afforded by the floating isles makes it ideal for this purpose. Naturally, it also makes us a ready target for attack. We are not defenseless, however. The Protector, our largest and most advanced airship, is capable of downing all but the mightiest dragons. Alas, as you may have noticed, it is currently undergoing repair. What is worse, our efforts have been hampered by an indigenous beast tribe known as the Vanu Vanu, with whom we have had several skirmishes already. No beastman is a match for a man of Ishgard. Bring me a birdman, and I'll show him a thing or two. I fear much and more may be asked of you in the days to come, Master Habib. Several craftsmen in service to House Decimel are contributing to the restoration of Falcon's Nest. These men and women are quite skilled at building and repairing fortifications, but their progress has been hampered by a number of factors. Rot, their foreman, tells me he has need of a man with your talents. Would you be so kind as to seek him out? Yes, I'm Rot, and who might you be? Ah, the promised help. Glad to have you aboard. I have the honor of overseeing this fine mess you see before you. Set me over on one of them blackbirds, same as you, to build and mend and tell others how to build and mend. But fury take me, this ice. It's bloody unnatural how fast it forms. It's icicle sprites, I tell ya. Mark my words. There are pockets of him here and there, just waiting for me to turn my back so they can sneak out and do their dirty work. So, I need you to search the hamlet and put an end to it. If you stand watch long enough, you are sure to find him. Some new combos that I can do. This one is called the Goring Blade. And again, the animation looks really nice. Ha! Now there's a man what looks like he's found his marks. You're just the sort we need around here. The kind he'll hop to when he sees a task undone. While I understand Count Edmond's intentions, I would rather not waste valuable time ensuring that the young lord doesn't get trampled underfoot. True, it is entirely possible that he may learn something from this experience, but if left to his own devices, I think it far more likely that he will make a mess of things. Tell him that I would like him to keep watch for Dravanian outflyers. Then, when you have a moment to speak with his manservant in private, make it clear that it is his responsibility to keep Emanelian from shirking his duty. A request from Laniat? Well, we were just talking about it right there. Why didn't she think to ask me in person? Surely she must see me standing here but a few yams away. You read our minds. Oh, never mind. What is it? No worries, Johan. Appreciate you coming in. A mission of paramount importance. Keep watch for Dravanian outflyers. A mission? Yes, of course. That is why I'm here. I shall do as my lady asks. Ah, Master Abiv. I do not believe I have properly introduced myself. My name is Honoruit, and I serve at the pleasure of Lord Emanelian. Lady Lania would have me accompany Lord Emanelian on his mission. Ah, I understand completely. I will do my utmost to keep him out of harm's way. Were he of another house, mayhap I would not feel obligated to go to such lengths to preserve his safety and dignity. In any case, I appreciate you speaking to him for me. It would seem he actually listens to you, at least, more so than others. Or mayhap you are more skilled at this than most. I suspect you have had to humor your fair share of difficult men before. Now that Emanelian is out of harm's way, we are free to discuss matters of actual import, such as our struggles with the Vanu. We first encountered the Vanu several years ago, when we had just begun to explore the Sea of Clouds. And after an exchange of pleasantries and gifts, we received permission to construct a permanent lookout post. There was peace between our peoples for half a year, till suddenly, for reasons unknown, their attitudes toward us changed. They began to attack our foraging parties without provocation, forcing us to rely more heavily on supplies flown in from Ishgard. But words are no substitute for first-hand experience. Go and see Sir Mariel. She could use your assistance. Master Habib, I presume. Lady Elania told me you were coming. I hear tell you've never faced a Vanu before. Well, spend enough time on patrol and you're sure to cross paths with them, eventually. These birdmen are native to the floating isles. I say birdmen, but they're not at all like the Ixal, unless that Ixal's mother was a Gigas. Here, let me mark several locations on your map. If you discover any Vanu in these areas, kill or drive them away. Yeah. Finished with your patrol? Anything to report? We killed him. Maybe it was too much to hope for a day without a skirmish. At least I can take solace in the fact that Halon has blessed us with a mighty ally. You're a dab hand at warcraft, I can tell. Not that I have any skills at arms to speak of, mind, but it doesn't take an expert to recognize expertise. Be a waste to keep you to myself when there are others what need help same as me. So if you're keen to keep on doing what you've done, I'd ask you to head north to the pike, the bloody huge statue out in the waste, if you've never been. Mason, by the name of Theramont, is out there tending to the thing. Good man, Theramont, but I reckon he's taking on too much work for one. Might be there's something you can do for him. Hail to you, traveler. What brings you out this way? Foreman wrote bid you to assist me? Well, far be it from me to turn down a helping hand. I've been tasked with the restoration of this sculpture. 5 years of neglect have not been kind, to say the least. Fortunately, I have just the thing for it. Rather, those deep eyes have it. If you can slay 3 and bring me their bristles, I would be in your debt. Ah, feel how coarse that is? That's why they're perfect for scrubbing the soot from this statue. Beautiful, isn't it? The spitting image of Haldrat, first of the Azure Dragoons, and one of Isgard's founding fathers. A symbol of everything the Dervanians despise, which is why they have taken to searing it with dragonfire every time they pass by. But no longer will we suffer this desecration of our nation's hero. Soon, this statue will be as it once was. A proud, shining testament to the determination of Isgard, and a message to the heretics that we have returned. The work may be hard and the conditions harsh, but as a proud Ishgardian, I could ask for no greater honor. Are you for Falcon's Nest? If so, I have a favor to ask. There's this knight, Sir Isador, stationed at the anvil to the west of here. She's always treated me with kindness and respect, more than I deserve, to be honest. Any road, while you were away, she came through on patrol, and I think she might have left a package behind. It's a bit of a detour, but would you mind returning it to her? My thanks to you, Brendt. What's that? A package? I haven't the foggiest what you're talking about. Okay. Highlands wins. Confound it. That fool of a... What a waste. It was a gift, adventurer. Theramont labors day and night without regard for his own well-being. The very least, he ought to try to eat better. Why not simply give it to him? By the Fury, have you no sense of decorum? A highborn knight cannot be seen favoring a lowborn mason in such a manner. Nevertheless, I appreciate your concern, as well as your willingness to assist Theramont. May your journey back to Falcon's Nest be safe and swift. Pray give my regards to Sir Redwald. I must applaud your initiative, Master Habev. Rod tells me you have been quite busy. Alas, we have not the time to thank you properly. I have a task to which I would commit all able-bodied men and women. You and Lord Artuero included. I'll see you guys again very soon. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys soon.